What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. DailyDiver here, back again with another episode for you guys. A little bit different tonight. So you guys know 2 days ago we found so many amazing stuff, or so many like hair products and hair straighteners, all kind of crazy stuff inside of the Sally's Beauty Supply dumpster. Absolutely amazing jackpot. And we asked if you guys want to see a little video of how you fix this stuff, because 9 times out of 10, if you were at Ulta Beauty or you at Sally's or someplace like that, they will snip the cords on them. Sadly, it really sucks, but quick, easy fix, not that big of a deal. So I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to do the best I can at least to show you guys. As you all know, I do dumpster diving episode videos, and I'm not really an expert on doing tutorials, but I'm going to do the best that I possibly can. It's really easy, guys. It's 2 wires. I know it looks like a big mess here. Do not get overwhelmed. It's very simple, nothing really to it. But first things first, if you guys do feel uncomfortable at any point in time, just go ahead and just don't do it. And I don't want anybody like, you know, burning themselves or whatever. But really, it's really simple. Just to give you a warning, though, you do have to solder some stuff. I would highly recommend you do anyway. But anyway, really quick, I'm just going to do just a quick tutorial. Probably not going to be quick. I'm going to do the best I can, guys, to show you all how to fix a broken cord or a hair straightener or a blow dryer. This could go for anything, guys. So it's going to be crazy, and hopefully we can get this working. I haven't done one in a while, but I've definitely done a whole bunch of them before. So anyway, like you guys know, it's going to be a little bit different episode. No dumpster diving tonight, sadly, but it is pouring down rain outside again, guys. It rains every single day. I have no idea what in the world is going on. But anyway, I just think I'll bring you this quick video. I know a lot of you guys said you would like to see it, so we're definitely going to try my best to show you all how to do it. So anyway, guys, if you guys are new to my channel, really quick, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we do new episodes of dumpster diving every single night. At least we try to. Sometimes it rains. Sometimes we do a little bit of different stuff, but most of the time we do crazy episodes of dumpster diving. Definitely find so many treasures, so it's worth go ahead and hitting that subscribe button. And one more thing, guys, YouTube is really going crazy lately. Like, every single one of my videos get demonetized. If you don't know what that means, go ahead and look it up. It means you don't get any ads. YouTube is flipping broken, guys. I have no idea what's going on, so I really appreciate it if all of you give me a big thumbs up on this, just to give me some support, guys, because I'm not making any money, like, at all. Like, barely any on any of my videos anymore. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully they fix it soon. But that's not your guys' problem. And obviously, I'm not going to stop doing videos just because of it. But I just like, if you guys could just give me a big thumbs up and leave me a nice comment, I'd really appreciate it to give me some motivation, because obviously I don't get paid for any of the stuff I do. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I just like bringing you guys the best possible content that I can. But YouTube really is like not doing very good right now. But anyway, guys, that's not your problem. I don't want to be negative, so let's go ahead. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. I'm going to go through everything you need, so let's go ahead. Let's get right into this. Alright, guys, so quickly, let's go ahead and go through the tools and supplies you are going to need to complete this task. So obviously, guys, like I said one more time, do not get overwhelmed with all this stuff here. And another thing is, this is just how I do it. I know I'm going to go get some like hater comments and all that. This is how I do it. It's not rocket science here. It's pretty simple. So anyway, this is just how I do it. Nothing too crazy here. It's very simple. But anyway, let's get into exactly what you need. Really quick, all this stuff here might look a little bit different from the stuff that you guys get, but you can go to, I know we dumpster dive and we do stuff on the cheap around here, so some of the stuff you won't not find. But anyway, I'm trying to say you guys can go to like the Harbor Freight. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. You probably are. Very inexpensive stuff. You could probably pick up everything that you need for like under $15, honestly. Crazy. Definitely worth a $15 investment, but some of the stuff is a little bit more expensive, the stuff that I have, just because I do like my soldering iron. I bought online, but you can buy a soldering iron at Harbor Freight for extremely cheap, like less than $5, no joke. But anyway, so you're going to need, first things first, you're going to need a soldering iron, and you're going to need a little roll of solder as well, which they sell all this stuff that you need at Harbor Freight right here. So obviously you're going to need a soldering iron. Not going to look like that if you guys go to Harbor Freight and pick that up, but it'll do the job. It's not going to be the best. Honestly, it might only last you a couple times, but I mean, if you're only going to do this once, it's worth it. Go ahead over to Harbor Freight and pick some of this stuff up. And then obviously you're going to need some solder. It's not going to look like this either. It's just going to come in a little roll over there at Harbor Freight. And then second, you're going to need, oh, obviously you're going to need the product that actually you're trying to fix. Preferably have the same cord. I know sometimes I do find stuff with the cords are gone and then they just snip that. I'm not going to really make a video of how to like put a different cord on, but the only thing you guys have to do is just look on here, and you can go over to your local home store or whatever, and you can pick up another cord. Just please make sure it is the same amperage. For the most part, they don't use a ton of power, but you can go over to your local place and wherever, and you can pick up a cord just like this for very inexpensive. But most of the time, you can find the one that they just cut and they just throw it in the dumpster together. But for some reason or another that you do not have a cord, you can go and you can purchase one. Just look on the product that you're trying to fix and make sure you just look at how many amps it is, and then you go buy one that is rated for that many amps. I know I'm trying to use big words. I'm trying to dumb this down as much as I can. Not that you guys are dumb, but I know a lot of you guys don't do this kind of stuff. It's very simple. You can buy another cord. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. So you need a soldering iron, solder, and then obviously your product. And then you're going to need a couple things here. You're going to need some wire strippers. These are perfectly fine. This I did actually purchase at Harbor Freight. This works so much better than this. You pretty much just put your wire right between there and you squeeze it and it'll cut it for you for the most part. It's not the best one in the world, but like I said, I picked it up at Harbor Freight, extremely inexpensive, and it does work pretty well. So like just right there, I mean, you're talking about like $5 worth of stuff, very cheap. And then these are like old ones I've had. Sometimes you might want to use these or whatever. Just go pick up some wire cutters. I definitely recommend buying these because it saves you a lot of time, honestly, if it works properly. Sometimes like the wire's too thick, it won't work, but for the most part, this thing is extremely useful. So anyway, moving right along, obviously, I don't know why I brought this. I was thinking about maybe sometimes you can, if the cord doesn't look like this, it has one of the little swivel things. Sometimes the best way to go is to take apart this completely and then solder the wire directly on to the board of the hair straightener or whatever you are doing. But for this, I didn't realize for this one, it's going to be a little bit easier and a little bit more wiser to go ahead and cut this, but we'll get into that later. So you don't necessarily need any of these like mini screwdrivers or anything. So just forget about that for a second. And then the last two things you are going to need, another thing, these two things completely, really cheap over at Harbor Freight is you need some heat shrink tubing. I think this is, what size is this? Yeah, this is a 1/4 inch. Extremely cheap, guys. And then you need just a roll of just your regular electrical tape, and that is pretty much going to do it. So don't let it scare you guys. You could definitely do this task. So don't leave these products inside the dumpster no more. Take them and fix them yourself and resell them, or do whatever you guys want to do with them, because it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to do the best I can, guys. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. It shouldn't take too long, but I'm going to do the best I can explaining everything. And for the most part, I guess I'll go ahead and I'll just explain exactly what we're going to do. Pretty much what our objective is here is to pretty much strip that off, that end off. Probably, you got to leave a little bit of room, probably like right there where my finger is. Strip that off and then strip this back, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to solder them together, guys. So I'm going to go and get myself a little bit straight, and I'll be right back, and we're going to go ahead and complete this. All right, guys, so the first things that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our wire strippers, and we're going to strip the end off of the cut end off of the cord itself, and then we're going to also strip. We're gonna want to save, you know, just, I don't know, probably just like a finger's worth, or maybe just a little bit more, maybe like a 1/2 inch worth of this cord on this side, just so we can get some tape around it at the end after we do solder it. But the first things first is what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go ahead and strip back these wires. Well, first you want to strip back the casing itself, and then you're going to want to strip back the actual wires together. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get into this, go ahead and strip back this and strip back the wires on both of these parts, and then we'll go into the next step after that. So let's go ahead and do it. Alright guys, as you can see, pretty much just went ahead and I stripped these away. I did go ahead and I used this pair on this one just because the cords are cut so short or so close to this little swivel action piece right here. So I did go ahead and I used this just because I couldn't get this piece inside of there just because it's so bulky. But anyway, look, turned out pretty good. And just you guys see how much I pretty much just trimmed back about, I don't know, about maybe half an inch or so, maybe a little bit more of the wire, and I went ahead and I did the same thing to this wire, guys. So pretty much what you guys can see is you're going to want to match your wires. So you got a black wire and you got a white wire on both sides. So pretty much all you're going to do is match the wires up. We're going to twist them up. We're going to solder them down, and that's pretty much going to be it, guys. It's, like I said, it's not too terribly difficult. So now it's going to be the time to where you want to take some of your heat shrink tubing, because obviously once you twist these wires up together, you're not going to be able to get this around there. So what you're going to want to do is just cut a nice piece. As you guys can see, you know, you can see how much you're going to need right there. I would just do a little bit extra. Take your heat shrink tubing, and you're going to want to cut yourself a nice piece, and then you're going to want to slide it down the cord. That way you can shrink it up after you're done soldering the wire. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's going to be the next step. Alright guys, we're almost there. Pretty much just went ahead, snipped a nice piece of the shrink tubing, stuck it down the cord. That way we can shrink it up. As you guys can see, this heat shrink tubing is pretty much dead on, just a little bit bigger than this cord. And then once we hit it with the lighter, I'll show you guys here in a few minutes after we're all finished up. It's really going to be nice and tight at the end. So we're going to go ahead, and what you're going to want to do right now is just go ahead and match your wires up, and pretty much just go ahead and twist them together pretty tightly, and then we're going to go ahead and solder them up, guys. So that is going to be the next step. Just go ahead, match your wires up, twist them up, and you'll be good to go. That's pretty much it there. As you can see, just pretty much twisted the wires up fairly tight. You want to make sure they're, make sure they're pretty tight over there, guys. And just twist them up and make sure they're not like touching together. Make sure you don't have any of the stray wires kind of poking one another. Make sure they're nice and tight, and that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead, we're going to pull the soldering iron out. This is where the stuff gets a little bit scary, but no big deal, guys. It's going to be really easy, nice and quick. So let's go ahead, let's solder these up, and this is going to be almost wrapping it up, guys. Really, really, really easy. Alright guys, here we go. Just make sure, really quick, make sure you're being extremely careful with your soldering iron. It's not that big of a deal, guys. Don't be scared of this. So go ahead and take your solder and your soldering iron. This is going to be the hardest part. It's super simple though. What you're going to do is just go ahead and make sure your soldering iron is nice and hot. And come on. There we go. Nice and hot, guys. And what you're going to do is take the soldering iron and go ahead and move it right on in, move it up with the wire, and kind of touch the solder, and make sure your soldering iron is touching the wire, and go ahead and touch the solder slightly onto the soldering iron, and it will start melting onto the wire. Extremely simple, guys. Just make sure you get nice big amount of solder on there. Go nice and hefty on it so it never breaks on you. You will never have a problem. This stuff is extremely sturdy, and you'll never run into any problems with that, guys. So as you can see, that pretty much, let me try to zoom out a little bit, and that pretty much, hold on, let me put this soldering iron down so I don't burn myself. And I don't know if I can get a good look at it. Maybe we can. Check it out. Very solid connection there, guys. Go ahead and do the same thing to the next one, and that's pretty much going to be it for soldering, guys. You saw how quick, simple, and easy it was. Make sure you let the soldering iron heat up. Nice, I mean, a good 10 minutes. Just making sure it's nice and hot, and you won't have any problems at all, guys. So go ahead, I'm going to finish up on the next one. You can see nice, solid connections. You're never going to have any problems with these at all. So what the next step is going to be, come on in focus, there we go. Next step, what is going to be is we're going to try and bend these down just slightly. So you might want to even go ahead and trim up these little pointy ends with the other end of your wire strippers, just so they're not really pointy. Just cut them off. No problem. You're not going to have any problems because all the solder is down there at the bottom. Nice, strong connection, guys. So just like that, pretty much it. So what the task is going to be here is you don't ever want your positive and negative touching, obviously. So go ahead and you want to take some electrical tape and separate them. Get a piece right in between there and pretty much just tape that down on that side, and just you want to make sure they're nice and separate, make sure they're nice and taped up so you have no connections touching each other and you'll have no problems at all, guys. So that's pretty much going to be it. That's going to be the next task. You might even want to trim them up really close sometimes. I didn't even realize that I probably should have done that. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, but you might even want to get the wire cutters down on here and just trim it up really close. That way you can get your shrink tubing over top of there and you won't have any problems. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to trim this up a little bit, get some electrical tape over it, and then we'll get into the last step, guys. Really simple. Alright guys, as you can see, I went ahead, I put a nice piece of electrical tape in between the white and black wire, and I went ahead and I wrapped it around the black wire. So honestly, you do not need to put, I mean, you probably would be the best way to go is put one around the white wire as well. And I did make a slight mistake here, not a really big mistake, but I probably should have used a little bit bigger of heat shrink tubing, so keep that in mind. Just because if I put another piece of tape around the white wire, as long as they're not touching, I mean, I'm going to have this protecting it, and I got that protected, not touching the wires together. I mean, once I put this over it, it's going to be nice and solid. But you might want to use, what I'm trying to say is I should have used a bigger piece of heat shrink tubing pretty much, because if I put another piece of tape around that, this is just not going to go around. So pretty much the next step is to go ahead and get this nice and snug around here and move it all the way to the end. And then what you're going to want to do is this heat shrink tubing is you just take a lighter and you light it just ever so slightly, just move it back and forth, and this tubing will shrink up and then it'll get extremely tight around all this area, and then it'll be nice and solid, guys. So that's going to be pretty much it. It's going to be the last step, and it's going to be perfect after that. We're going to try it out and make sure everything works. As you can see, took a little bit of finagling. Just take your time, and I got the heat shrink tubing all the way down to the end. And what you're going to want to do is just take a lighter really quick and just really lightly and just go ahead and just go back and forth just like this. And this tubing will start to shrink up just like that. And then becomes nice and tight. You have nothing to worry about after that. That's pretty much it, guys. Look how tight that got. You have no problems. Just let that, it's fine right now, actually. But go ahead and just kind of, while it's warm, I like to bend it just a little bit just to get it into a good shape so it's not really stiff. But that's pretty much it. It's very nice and flexible. But as you guys can see, try to zoom out just a little. There we go. As you guys see, not a big a deal. Extremely nice and sturdy. You can tug on it. You're not going to have any problems at all, guys. So let's go ahead. Let's plug this Qi that was broken. And hopefully we got a nice working Qi now. Let's go ahead and plug it in and check it out. Alright guys, I got it plugged in. I do not have it turned on yet. I have the on and off switch right here. So let's go ahead. Let's plug it in and see how it did. There you go, guys. That is pretty much it. We got a working Qi. I'm pretty sure it just, I think that just blinks until it's ready and it's warmed up like 100%. That's pretty much it, guys. We got a nice working brand new Qi from Dumpster Diving, guys. So that is pretty much it. I'm sorry, I'm not the best at doing tutorials, but you guys pretty much get the point. Really, really simple, guys. If you have any questions, leave them below. But guys, don't leave these in the dumpster anymore. Take these home, fix them yourself, resell them, keep them, do whatever you want. Perfectly fine. This thing was brand spanking new. As you can tell, I still have the box right here, guys. As you can see, bam, perfect. Brand new, guys. Like I said, it's pretty much going to do it for this episode. I hope all of you really enjoyed. I hope it helped. Give me a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys tomorrow with a new episode.